feel like our town was sacrificed. It was like, hey, at least they're here, we know where they are. It never should have happened. They should not have lasted long enough to put infrastructure in.
I'm in Richmound, Saskatchewan, outside of the school that the so-called Queen of Canada and her cult occupied for 2 years. We're talking to residents today to see how this impacted the community, and what we've heard has been truly devastating.
I feel like our town was sacrificed. It was like, hey, at least they're here, we know where they are. They're not causing too much trouble with a large population. I think if Richmound, for lack of better terms, was more important, we might have had stuff done a little faster.
Kids that would come and play at the playground right here had people watching them, taking their picture.
Taking pictures of people's homes, pictures of children. Like, I'd be out here cutting grass and I have multiple cameras on me. I have security detail walking along the fence on the inside of the property. I'm in a tractor cutting grass. Like, I'm not doing anything, I'm cutting grass. But it was also at nighttime. All these lights you see back here, they're all solar powered and they are extremely bright. For like all winter, we had bright lights. You came in at nighttime down the highway, you almost couldn't see coming into town. You had to slow right down to like 20 or 30 because you couldn't see the road because the lights were so bright.
People received death threats. People were receiving threats online. They were receiving death threats in the mail. Death
threats to anyone who speaks out against them, not just council, but anyone who, there's private citizens here who got death threats in the mail. I mean, you have death threats happening. You have people walking around the town talking about how they're going to get boots on the ground.
People are talking about how their property taxes were raised.
Beyond like the emotional and psychological costs, there's like an actual measurable financial cost that this town has endured. Like our property taxes all went up from having to deal with them. Like, there was a lot of cost involved in this. Like, not just lawyers, but I mean, when we, dealing with the infrastructure they were paying for, we had to pay for hydrovac to come in and dig up lines and line locates and all sorts of stuff, right? And plus, like, I don't know how many of my hours have been wasted as foreman dealing with that kind of nonsense.
Not to mention all of the loss of opportunities that they've had. People chose to bypass driving through Richmound because they didn't want to have to deal with the cult. They didn't want to have to drive past an occupied school where people would make threats or stand outside and take their photo.
We've lost residents who have left town because of here. I spoke with someone just the other day who they just moved to Burstall, and they wanted to move here. They liked the house they saw here, but they didn't move here because of that. So like, we've lost residents. Who knows what opportunities this town has lost because they were in the presence of them here.
This divided the community in many ways as well. It divided families, it divided households, it ruined friendships, and it's sad to hear that when it all could have simply been avoided had somebody stepped in sooner. This went on for 2 years, and the Sask party did nothing. Doug Steele, the MLA for this constituency, did nothing. And it devastated the community. Everyone's so optimistic and hopeful that they'll be able to move forward.
The focus now is building the community back up. Once they're gone, I think once the fence comes down and the last few RVs are at least removed or tucked out of the way or whatever, I think the town next year is going to be a very different sort of place to live.
At the end of the day, this isn't about ideology or politics, it's about community. The community wants to move forward, but they don't want this to be forgotten.